The sacred XRP mega pump is imminent. Now, the question of today, I'm curious if you guys believe in the law of attraction, manifesting, praying, because we need all of it. We need the positivity. And for me, I am just shutting out anybody with the negative attitude who doesn't want to recognize the technicals, the fundamentals, and the psychology of this crypto space that's just now starting to realize, oh crap, we better get on this XRP train because it's about to break out. I know we've been using the word imminent. I know we've been saying breakout. We've been doing it for years. We're still there. Everything's still in play. Why would you get off the train now? So in the comments down below, let me know if you believe in the law of attraction, manifesting, prayer. I believe that these things are very powerful, especially when you follow them up with action, which is what I want for our community right now. Whether XRP is going to go up tomorrow, next week, or not till next year, are you prepared for that moment? And what are the moves that you're going to be making when XRP goes to your targets? Let's get started here. And we got to recognize we're making progress. That's why I'm excited today. Happy Sunday to all of you guys out there. I hope you had a blessed weekend. Take a look here. XRP back down to 60 cents today. We did go touch 63 cents yesterday. But what I want to show you guys here is that we have reclaimed the 6th spot. We surpassed USDC on market cap. And so right now, well, actually, I don't know why this is reading wrong. It says 34 billion for the market cap of XRP and 34.8 for USDC. So I'm not sure why. Actually, it's like we're going to, oh, we lost it. Darn it. We lost it. Okay. So we got to continue fighting. We got to get it back. I was excited to share with you guys that we had surpassed USDC, but it looks like we've lost that here. We're going back and forth, but we're just getting started on this deal. And so we're going to continue to watch it more on the XRP sacred mega pump later. Let's get started. We got a war going on, folks, and we continue to pray for peace. Hezbollah fires 70 rockets at northern Israel. Hezbollah has launched a major retaliation against Israel, firing over 70 rockets towards northern Israel, including the western Galilee and the occupied Syrian Golan Heights. This response comes after intense Israeli air raids on southern Lebanon. Hezbollah states the attack is in response to the assassination of Syed Mohsen, with further statements expected soon. And we did get the official statement from the Hezbollah leaders yesterday in response to this. And so we did see it happening last night. This was happening at about 9 o'clock on my time, West Coast. Last night, I was watching this and I almost fired up a live, but I didn't feel like there was much for me to add to the conversation as it was just starting to break out. But what I'm worried about is a potential Black Monday opening up here, because nobody's even talking about the Houthis that blew up the oil tanker on Friday. That happened right as markets closed. And so it didn't have much of an impact on the markets, and it was overshadowed by Powell's statements that the Fed is going to adjust policy. Everybody got bullish, everything started pumping, and everybody forgot that we were in a war and that they literally just blew up a tanker, and it's going to be a big natural disaster, environmental disaster, but also an escalation of the war, which we now see continuing through the night last night. Continuing on, how's it going for the United States of America? Well, we're about to sideline 17 vessels due to a manpower shortage that makes it difficult to properly operate ships across the fleet. Now, whether you think we should have them out there or not, the point that I'm going to make here is that this is the end of an empire. Right. When the troops have to come back home, when the vessels have to come back home and be parked, this is the end of the empire. Now, for better or for worse, I'm not saying that we should have, we shouldn't be the police force of the world. I agree. I want our troops to come home. I want these vessels to come home and us to focus on our homeland more than we're focusing on 100 different other countries, sending military aid, military equipment, and we got resources throughout the entire world. And the problem is that even if you did want to do that, even if you did want to be the policeman of the world, we can't cut the check without deflating and devaluing our dollar. That's the problem. Sorry, the word would be inflating, not deflate. Inflating, printing dollars to continue the empire expansion. But it seems like we're being checkmated right now, and we're bringing them home. We'll continue to watch it. Now's not the time for weakness in our military, though. God bless our troops, and it's time. Yeah, we better figure it out here real quick, because we got threats, existential threats here at home and abroad. Not looking good. Speaking of threats, well, the US dollar against the Japanese yen is quite a threat. Most people overlooking this one, most people thinking that the Japan carry trade is done as far as the unwind. But we got a chart here from Mac 10. It says the USD is now massively overvalued relative to the Japanese yen. So what I predict is that the Fed is about to create a carry trade death spiral, similar to what happened to Asian currencies in 1997. A total collapse in risk assets. Fed rate cuts will accelerate the collapse. Welcome to the third world. Now, JP Morgan is saying that the Japan carry trade unwind is 75% done. I think it's a bold-faced lie. And I think that we do need to watch here closely. Oil, if oil does spike, that's going to be another thing that exacerbates the Japan carry trade unwind. Watch closely as we open up the markets tomorrow, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. And we'll be there to drop some fresh updates tomorrow morning for you guys as the markets open up. So make sure you guys have subscribed and hit that notification bell. I want to talk about this one. This one came out from Vital Law. And this is a wrap-up of the case that our good friend Fred Rispoli fought against the SEC. And I forget which circuit this was in. Yeah, I don't see it. It's probably somewhere in here, but that's not the point. The main point that I want to get to, so Fred filed a case against the SEC, sued the SEC, and basically said, you need to tell us, yes or no, is Ethereum a security? They wanted a declaratory judgment, right? Definitive guidance is what they were asking for. And the courts here have dismissed the case, saying that they don't have standing to sue the SEC for this. And all Fred was trying to get them to say is, can you just tell me, is Ethereum a security, yes or no? I use this asset in my business. We hold this asset and we use this asset. We want to know very clearly, very simply, is it a security? Now, the courts dismissed the case, and what Fred Rispoli had to say in response is very important for everybody to understand. While HODL Law is disappointed in the court's decision that the firm did not have standing to pursue the case on the merits, the firm appreciates the court's review, including those portions of the opinion that do provide at least some judicial clarity on the Ethereum question. First, this ruling confirms that currently only Bitcoin and XRP are inherently non-securities. Everything else, well, left under that deep, dark cloud of uncertainty. Worryingly, Bitcoin only has this safety through SEC statements that, as demonstrated in this case, could be reversed at any time and is not a final agency action. XRP earned its non-security designation only through a tumultuous court battle the SEC primarily lost against Ripple Labs. Here, the court held that all of the SEC's previous statements that Ethereum is not a security were not, quote-unquote, final actions. If the American investor has not figured this out yet, our district court loss confirms the commission will be targeting Ethereum as a security in the future and is actively strategizing for its best route to do so. We are therefore advising all our firm's clients that transact with Ethereum to take certain precautions when this inevitable SEC attack occurs. This is where we're at in the United States of America. Now, the court found that he didn't have standing to bring the case, but in that ruling, in this dismissal, what Fred is saying is confirmed is that the SEC's statements were not final actions. So it's not a final action or determination of Ethereum, and they could flip-flop. They could bring more action against those that have invested or those that are using Ethereum. Are they ever going to go after the disguised whales and really open up that? No. We know that's long gone. We're about to pass the statute of limitations on that. But the problem is they did the ETH 2.0 merger. That was a complete flop. Are they going to go after them for that? That's where this gets interesting, because it looks like they're trying to go and make the case that the proof of stake tokens are inherently investment contracts, whereas Bitcoin and XRP would be the only other coins that are not inherently investment contracts, even though the SEC, if asked today, even despite losing to Ripple, and the judge ruling against them, they would probably still say that XRP is inherently an investment contract because they have no shame. Now, speaking of the central banks and how to get something done here with this new financial system and work with assets that are not securities, I found this clip here shared by Crypto Airy, and appreciate her for sharing this and finding this clip. This is Lauren Berta, product manager at Ripple, talking about how they're working on privacy for banks and decentralized identity on the XRP ledger right now in a proof of concept, and the feedback that they're getting from central banks and commercial banks. Take a listen on this. This is an interesting clip. And once again, the reason why I'm sharing this is because everybody's scared of the CBDCs, and I don't like the central banks either. I think that our Federal Reserve should be ended. At the very minimum, it should be audited. Probably should end it. Probably isn't constitutional. That's a different story. But for now, I want to focus on these technologies specifically on the XRP ledger, this proof of concept for decentralized identity, how it could actually protect your privacy in this new system. This is what I'm looking forward to, and this is why I support Ripple so much, not just because I want XRP to go to the moon, because I believe that the folks at Ripple understand and respect individual rights, liberties, and privacy. Take a listen in. Product manager at Ripple, Lauren Berta.
Yeah. So privacy, I mean, there's, again, a range of what central banks are requesting there. One thing we've seen is the idea that if they're on a permission chain, they actually want to log in to be able to see all the transactions. Another idea is using a decentralized identity to actually wrap transactions on mainnet. So on the main public chain, right, at the moment, you can see the public key. And we've found through, talking to, I'm sure, TRM Labs or companies similar to that, pretty quickly you can figure out who owns the public key. With a decentralized identity, which is something that's being proof of concept on the XRP ledger, you basically would wrap it with sort of a stamp of approval from maybe your commercial bank who holds most of our KYC profiles today, or a central bank if it's a retail model. And while you would still be able to see the settlement or the closing of that transaction, you wouldn't see the public key, you wouldn't see the value. This would all be sort of masked in the fact that it's been approved by that commercial bank partner or whoever.
So you get the point there, right? And this is not anonymous transactions. It's just, a respect of our privacy, hiding the wallet address and the amounts, but giving a stamp of approval by a bank that has done the KYC, the AML, and all the compliance. Now, she goes on in that clip later to say that some countries aren't as concerned about masking it with privacy. And that, once again, that's one of the advantages of the XRP Ledger sidechain that they did for private, the private sidechain that they did for central banks, is they made it into a hybrid model where you had the ability to go private if you wanted to, or, when it's time to open up and tap into the mainnet, you can do so as well. So you can hit that big red button, as David Schwartz describes it, and the walls come down and you have interoperability with the public mainnet. But, one example of a country that, just did it right, open on the mainnet public blockchain, was Palau. And this is VET looking into the on-chain data on how the Palau stablecoin pilot on the XRP ledger went. And if you recall, I did interview Jay Hunter Anson, who is part of the Ministry of Finance for Palau, and he came on my show and explained which phase they were in this, and they've developed it even further now. But we have a total of 1,181 transactions on the XRP ledger, 731 payment transactions. Rest is trust lines. And the Palau pilot program consumed in total 0.0017, all those numbers, XRP in fees. The amounts in the payment flow typically stay in the range between 5 and 100 PSC, but there are also notable larger payments done. Looking at the on-chain data, it makes only sense they were happy with the XRP ledger. All transactions, apart from a few, were processed fast and at low cost. And I remember Jay Hunter Anson saying that basically the transactions were going through as fast as their internet would. That was the only thing that was slowing down the transactions. Palau, they're like just now getting fiber optics ran to their islands. They got a string of islands. And this is a country where folks literally take a boat to go to the few banks that are on the islands to go grab cash, to take the cash back on their boat to their island. I mean, it sounds crazy where we come from, right? But this is how real people are living, and how quickly we can fix that problem with this Palau stablecoin on the XRP ledger. And they ran it on the public mainnet where we could all watch and observe the transactions that were being made, right? Very interesting to see, and the developments over there with Ripple, where they're working, some of them want to go on public, some of them want to go private. The interoperability between the two is the key. And once again, the underlying asset XRP is what, basically unites both. There is no separate XRP for the private blockchain. It's the same XRP. Now, this is from Fruition Productions. The documentary XRP Unleashed is on the way. Commenting here, he says, for those that saw Brad Garlinghouse post today, which actually it was the post from early August, not today. But he says, we are very excited about the outcome of the case and holding our breath until early October to see the end of the appeals window. So basically the documentary, they're waiting to see if the appeal comes through. If it does not, if that is the end of the case, that will be the conclusion. And speaking with Chris and Maya, huge respect, and God bless them for doing this documentary. They've spent so much of their own money. They're in the hole now putting this movie together. Folks don't understand this. And Hollywood doesn't want it. Netflix doesn't want it. And that's fine. We don't need them. That's the power of decentralized media. And what we're doing is we don't need Hollywood. We don't need Netflix to make this go viral and to make it have a massive impact. And so what they're going to do is they've shortened the documentary. It was going to be like 6 parts. Now it's going to be an hour and a half, 90 minutes, with a primarily a focus on the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit and that battle, and then our victory that we've now achieved. So I can't wait. I will update you guys further, but that was what I've heard most recently as of last week from the directors and producers of the film. Now, an explosive charge ready to go hider. This is Bobby A on Twitter. Let's take a look at what Bobby has to show us right here. He has the take profit zone right up here, starting at about $6. That looks like $5-6. Yeah, $5. All the way up here to $13 is his take profit zone, and he's showing the same thing. Anybody who's not biased and knows how to set up a Fibonacci here and see how far the fib extensions take us, it's a $5 to $13, $5 to $15 easy conservative move. Let's take a look at it. Crypto Michael says XRP should get a nice pump very soon. It likes to move up slowly, then all at once. Now, that reminds me of the song Miss Rachel. For those of you guys that have kids, that reminds me of Miss Rachel, Slowly. I forget which song that is, but yeah, I'm thinking of my kids were just listening to Miss Rachel. Slowly, very slowly, creeps the garden snail. I think that's the one. And that's been XRP. Slowly, and then we're about to explode. Crypto Michael shares this. The sacred XRP mega pump is imminent. Okay, he said it. It wasn't me. Don't attack me for calling it the sacred XRP mega pump. It was Crypto Michael. He says, my chart will be framed in the Louvre as a historical masterpiece. How about that? We've all been looking at this same chart. We've all been frustrated with this chart. Gosh darn it, move. Folks, it is coming, and I want you guys to think about this. I want you guys to manifest this. I want you guys to pray on this. We've been praying. We need more prayers. And I want you guys to think about, too, not just, I want XRP to go to $5. I want you to visualize what it's going to look like. For me, I visualize putting up my 100,000 subscriber plaque on YouTube right there behind me. And then maybe somewhere else in my office, I'm going to put that XRP chart. I'm going to put that XRP chart on my wall, and I'm going to have the markers where I took profit. Here's where I cashed out this. Here's where I cashed out there. And then thinking about, too, what we're going to do next with that money, with that wealth, with the gains that we are about to make here off that sacred XRP mega pump. Really play this out fully. Not just thinking about it, oh, it's going to be fun. I'm going to go on a trip. I'm going to have a little bag. No, really visualize it, live in that moment, draw that moment closer to us, do whatever ritual prayers you want to do. But folks, it is there. It is there from the technical standpoint, from the fundamentals and the psychology of the rest of the crypto space, starting to figure out that they better get on board this XRP train before it goes quantum speed. With that being said, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. We are getting very, very close, and we almost broke out yesterday. So you guys, we're going to keep you up to date. Make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell. If you appreciate the updates, you guys know what to do. Everything's at ZachRector.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.